Yeah, we got 20 minutes on it. I think that's good.
Alrighty then. Next game here. American Football Conference, AFC Championship game here. Third time rodeo here. Cincinnati Bengals going into Kansas City Chiefs. Even scoring line here in Arrowhead. And I did see some little words of exchange for messing with each other, and they're calling it Burrowhead instead of Arrowhead now. Cincinnati fans, and I think a couple players retweeted it. So
Love it.
Because he's
that's a
dominating down
Love
there.
it.
hey, he's 2-0. I mean, I know the last game was in Cincinnati
Burrowhead.
where they won, but last year's AFC Championship game, what was the final score? Like 31-27 or
The
something
Kansas
along
City
those
Chiefs are
lines.
7-1 at home, and
They
that's the
both been
one.
bangers. They both been bangers
So,
both times they played.
yeah. Again, I'm going to stick with my guns that I same did last week when I said Cincinnati was going to beat the Buffalo Bills, and that's just the fact that they can do it. Like for no reason, like their
Playing out of their
defense isn't
minds.
magical, their offensive line definitely isn't magical, but Joe Burrow's magical.
TJ
You can
Hendrickson.
you can work in, mix in when you need to, and then you got a
Dixon
magical
was phenomenal.
recipe of wide receivers there. So and just
Respect to the defense too.
Burrow's mindset is just is next to none. Like his ability to just
100%.
say, "All right, this game, it's here, it's on the line. This is me, this play," and it'll be like the second quarter. And he'd be like, "No, this is when I need to make a touchdown,"
Yup,
and
yup, yup.
they're gonna do it, and that's gonna set them
Literally.
apart. And
Yep.
I'm gonna go Bengals here off of probably like a Jamar Chase 75-yard touchdown, just to just something crazy to ruin it for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Like he's Tariq Hill.
Look. I'm gonna take this one quick. So let me dive in real quick because who's the best quarterback in the league?
It's subjective.
Because all season long, and this goes, I'm not just speaking for myself. It's been Josh Allen for a long time. When you look at the whole package, and we're going on 4 years him being in the league, and he's accomplished nothing. No MVPs, no Super Bowls, no championships, no nothing. And we got Burrow who went to the Super
Hell of
Bowl.
a guy.
And, bro, this dude is doing it. I got Burrow at the top of my list right now as far as the whole package.
You shut
I'm
up. You're
going
just
Cincinnati Bengals over Mahomes. And they're giving them a second loss at home for the season. Cincinnati Bengals. Let's go, Charlie. What you got for me?
You shut up. You're just picking him because I drafted
We
him
back
in
we
fantasy.
bouncing back to me.
don't
I
know
figured I was gonna be the only one here, and I said it before the playoffs started, right before we got into the KC matchup, and I was like, no one's talking about the Chiefs. Like everybody's talking about every other team, whether it's Philly, San Francisco, Bengals,
Been talking about the
Bills.
Chiefs,
Like
though, a
the
little
Chiefs were just like nameless in there, and what they do this year, they won the AFC again. Surprise, surprise.
5 years
By
in a
the-
row, one
Mahomes
Super Bowl.
By
injury-
default,
And then the Mahomes
Literally.
injury happens, last week, and everybody holds their breath. And
Dak Prescott MVP too, right?
it's a big deal. Hey, I took the Eagles this week, so
All right, I was just kidding, Mom. Jeez.
hey. Anyways, Chiefs, Bengals. I agree. I'd like this to err on the side of Burrow being the more complete guy, like just on the leadership standpoint. But when you factor in Andy Reid with Mahomes and that coaching staff, like, man, it's tough. And then being
Are
together
you
with Kelsey
factoring in
so
Patrick
long.
Mahomes' ankle injury?
I'm taking the home team. I'm taking the Chiefs here. I think it's going to be a banger of a
Ankle?
game yet again.
Ankle?
The thing that Cincinnati's been able to do here of late
Ankle?
is come out quick. They've been able to put points on the board, and as soon as they went up 2 scores on Buffalo, it totally threw out the game plan for Buffalo, and it was game over.
Injuries not a
Um,
problem.
and it's doesn't look like he was practicing.
This motherfucker was hopping on one leg to hand the
I
ball off.
agree. Hey, no today, no walking.
know
back
it's hurting.
at practice.
Oh, got it
so,
done.
I mean,
You
it
know
is
it's
what it
hurting.
is. Like, he's going to be out there. And we were just talking about off camera about the arm angles and all that stuff. Like Kansas City's been doing this quick pass approach for years. They still have elite speed across the board. They still got Travis Kelsey. They still manufacture rushing, whether it's McKinnon or Pachenko this year. defensively, it's a little scary. I give the edge to the Bengals, to be honest
Exactly,
with
bro.
you.
They've been
But
playing out there.
on
I
the
watched
road,
this last game, bro. It's
lights out,
crazy.
lights out, lights out.
Lights out, literally lights out. Like they
I
shut
can't.
down our so-called best quarterback in the league. I know I wasn't the only one. I think Charlie, you agree with me on that. Brady,
I,
maybe even.
I, I looked at it in a different way though. When I watched that game, number one, them jumping out to the lead that they did, but number two, the snow hurt Buffalo more than it hurt Cincinnati because Cincinnati had a run game
Miami
and
game,
it was
Buffalo,
just
Miami.
man
What
versus
happened?
man.
That shit
And
was way
Josh
deeper in that
Allen,
game,
Josh
and,
Allen's
and
a
that shit went up to like 41-34.
Let him, Nick. Let him have his piece. Let him say his piece. You did yours. It's his turn. Let him say his piece.
Josh Allen is, a thumper of a quarterback. He couldn't get the wheels churning though in that environment. Buffalo played a lot of zone. You can't cut in that environment. So everything Buffalo wanted to do, the pass rush was getting by the tackles all day long, but Burrow was just able to skip up a couple of steps to avoid it, and it was never an issue for him. So
For
I think
sure.
that weather played a huge role in favor of Cincinnati, but Cincinnati hands down won the game. Um, I think it's going to be a little different. It's going to be nip and tuck. It's going to be nip and tuck. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to put my money on the Chiefs, though. I think it's Chiefs Birds in the
Super
Super Bowl.
fair. Super
What do
fair.
you got? What do you got? Ed?
Thank you, Charlie. It is a very excellent point. I mean, the Chiefs are a solid squad, man. And then with Andy Reid behind it, just and then that everything they got going on defense, Chris Jones and everybody. But I just gotta go. I gotta go Cincinnati. I gotta go Joe Burrow. I gotta go T.J. Hendrickson. The numbers don't really add up for Cincinnati's defense all year. You're not going to see huge numbers in the sack department, but just like their offense in the beginning of the season was very, very horrid. That first game against Baltimore.
Pittsburgh.
Was it Baltimore? I think it was Baltimore.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh. Sorry, Pittsburgh. Yes, Pittsburgh. You were like, man, they're gonna have a rough year. I was like, oof, they got to get that right. And then, by like week 5, we just kept talking like, man, I don't know if that offensive line is going to get it together. I just don't know. And here we are. It's the championship round. This is the game for the big kahuna here. We're trying to walk away with it. And here we are talking Cincinnati and Joe Burrow again. I just think Joe Burrow, it speaks volumes when your leader just is who he is. You know what I mean? It resonates. It like infection. It gets infectious and it starts trickling down to everybody. And everybody on the team starts having it and they start walking like it and they start talking like it and they start acting like it. And the next thing you know, it's like, damn, they're hoisting up the trophy because they couldn't be beat. And it's just crazy that Mahomes gets this ankle injury at the time that he does, because now you're thinking like this is gonna be a problem against this defense. I mean, you have to think that this is gonna hinder him in some sort of way, right? I don't care at all that you're gonna sit there and look me in the face and tell me he practiced today. Good for him. He practiced. What was his practice? Throwing the ball?
I love how when I take the other side, I get pointed arguments
No.
directed at me. I'm just stating facts, Eddie, that he practiced. That's all.
No, my point's going to be is how mobile is he, and I think that's going to dictate whether the Kansas City Chiefs win or not. To be quite frank, you're not going to just be able to hand the ball off and get the dub
team
against Cincy. I just don't think that's the way that this would work.
Listen.
So I'm gonna have to go the Cincinnati Bengals here. I would be torn on this if he had 2 ankles and not near one of them were chicken tenders, but one of them is just
100%.
hanging off, dragging behind
100%.
him while he hobbles right now, and you taping it up before every game.
Listen, let's break down these 4 teams real quick, because these 2 teams match up incredibly well. And then you got San Francisco and Philadelphia who match up incredibly well. And there is a reason, like it's a clear reason this year these 4 teams are like, last year was like Cincy was like, should they be there? They were there. And then they beat KC. Like this year, these 4 teams are clear, evident teams that should be where they're at. You got, let me run it back real quick. You got the Bengals are on a 10-game winning streak right now. 10 games, right? And that's including a victory over the Chiefs back in December, 27-24, where they already beat the Chiefs. Okay, this is a movie in the making. And I think both games are movies in the making, like incredible games coming in for championship games. We couldn't ask for better football. The wild card weekend, super wild card weekend. Remember I told you guys, super wild card weekend was incredible. The divisional rounds were great. The Eagles won, Cowboys lost.
Mahomes only had 223 yards passing in that game.
2 touchdowns on a broken ankle.
And
nigga was hopping around.
No,
fucking
and
throwing.
This is the Cincinnati game they played. This is the Cincinnati game, and
the
Pachenko had
December,
and
okay.
Pachenko had 66 yards rushing. So again, I say, if this game comes down to his ability to not be able to move the ball, 66 yards ain't gonna cut it.
No,
I mean,
definitely not.
But if he can navigate, if he seriously can navigate and roll out and at least into the play action and give me the 3-step, then.
But that's what I'm talking about. Scantling led the team in
don't
receiving
count
yards at
Mahomes out,
71.
bro. This guy's a G, bro.
That means Travis Kelce was null and void.
Mahomes is no joke, man. I'm just saying. No, I get you.
No. That's another because
saying.
if Cincinnati starts hot again like they did last week against KC, like they start hot. There's no reason why KC can't score.
Travis Kelce
I think it's gonna be.
Kelce had 56 yards, no touchdown. Valdez-Scantling 71 yards and Juju Smith-Schuster 35 yards. None of them, the top receivers, had a touchdown. I said,
they're good teams, but in the research doing of why I'm picking Cincinnati, and I wanted trying to find ways to I want to take KC just because they are the home team, this and that. But similar fashion to the San Francisco is they need to get a run game going because you look at Cincinnati, and I started off by saying that their defense isn't magical, but they allow the league lowest completion percentage in the league at 58.9. They're the least completion percentage in the league. So
like that.
And then not to mention with that, they're allowing passing touchdowns. They're tied for second least amount of touchdowns in the league. So Kansas City needs the run game going, and I'm not quite sure that they can get it going. Like I know San Francisco can get that run game going. Why that's a big threat to the Eagles. It's a harder for me to picture that threat versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Trey Hendrickson playing crazy. Cam Taylor-Britt playing great, to be a rookie. And you got your boy Logan Wilson still just balling, just out there balling. BJ Hill from the Giants, we just letting them go. We just
Hill and Reeder have been phenomenal clogging up the middle for them.
So the defense is solid, and I mean for a Mahomes that is a little, but again, like I said, if Mahomes could move around back there, then this is gonna be the game you want to watch. I mean, this is going to be a game just like the Eagles game is going to be. I think the Eagles game is going to be real low scoring. I think potentially this game could be high scoring. We'll see what happens, But, I mean, honestly, Jamar Chase getting them off big, I think this, man, it just sucks that it has to come. Like, why does it have to come down to this? Like, I would much rather be talking about this game right now and hitting it with the what ifs with him not having this ankle injury. It sucks. But, life is life, and the man's a soldier, and he's out there leading the cadets, bro. With the ankle taped up, with the duct tape out there doing his thing poked up so he can't feel it and trying to do his thing. You know what I mean? He's going to try, and he's definitely not going to lay down. He's going to go out there and get a dub. But I gotta take Burrow just because of that, man. It's just a little something like that, man. And he admitted the pain, and you got to deal with it, and you got to move forward. I mean, it's got to play on the mental a little bit, wouldn't you say, Bray?
A little bit. Can't deny you there.
A little bit.
Where are they playing this Super Bowl at? Is it Arizona?
Tampa, is it? Or no?
Where is
Arizona.
It? It's Arizona.
Yeah.
It's Arizona.
Why did I say Tampa?
I think last year was Tampa.
Yeah, that's why.
Last year was Los Angeles. The year before was Tampa.
Year before.
Back to back. Home team won the Super Bowl. First time ever a team wins, and they do it back to back.
Which is crazy.
First time a home team has ever
Hold on,
played in their stadium,
I have to
and they
plug
both
this
won back
in.
to back.
I have to plug this in before we log off. I did not know this personally as a fan, and I certainly